The following is an original A Livin' podcast.
What a weekend, guys. Dover. By far one of the weirdest weekends I think we've ever had so far this year. Mostly due to inclement weather. The Cup race being postponed to today, as of recording this, May 1st. And it was an all-brother weekend. All-brother sweep. Truex's Get It Done. We're going to talk a lot about it.
Oh, and there's more involved in that. That's so ironic and cool. And if you know Mike tags and all that, you know why this is kind of cool for me as well. So, got anything to say down there?
Well, Dover overperformed, I will say that, and I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I think I saw a stat on Fox, and they said that this is the third rainout in the recent years, and I think I saw someone say somewhere that it's been 2019, 2022, and 2023 all dealt with rain for a Cup race. Don't know why, but minus the weather, it was a pretty good Dover weekend.
And we are gonna cover it all for you. Yes, you did see my webcam have a little malfunction, but it's all right. That's just a minor fix.
About that.
We're back up and rolling for our 38th edition of GTN. How about that, guys? We're almost to 50 overall episodes, which is by far pretty insane. And this is our 13th episode overall for this year alone. But anyways, I'm Elijah Leonard, your host, co-host to the left of this Wyatt Walker. To the bottom of this, Mr. Nathan Stapleton, the big staple down over there. And all right, let's jump on into it. Starting off with the Xfinity race. I don't know who all, between the both of you, seen it. I know I couldn't, so...
I was busy this whole weekend, and I only watched the end of the Cup race, so I didn't get to watch.
I was asleep. I was tired. As soon as I woke up, I saw the finish of the race, and I saw my Truex get interviews, so I got nothing from the Xfinity race.
Did you just say you saw Martin get the win, Xfinity?
Did I?
I think I heard him say Martin instead of Ryan.
Well, he was in victory lane twice, theoretically, so, I mean,
there's two Truexes, 1-1. But,
yeah, let's talk about this performance from Ryan Truex. Dominating performance. I think this is the most dominant that Ryan Truex has ever been in one race alone. This reminds me of 2012 when he also was driving for JGR, ironically enough at the time, not in a number 19, but he ended up losing one to lap traffic, and of all people, Wyatt's favorite boy went on to take that win away with 6 to go. That was 2012. This year, we saw a pretty similar performance. Led 124 laps. Practically was untouchable throughout the whole day. And he goes on to win. How about that?
You love to see it. I've been someone that's been saying that Ryan Truex has been so close so many times on getting that first win, and I'm convinced that sure he might not have the sponsorships, since I think all of his races he has been just sponsored by Toyota, but I want someone give Ryan Truex a full-time ride in a competitive car. He can do what he's doing in his limited source this year all the time. I'm convinced of it.
Here's my thing on this, and I've said it before. Ryan Truex has been showing he's pretty good in that car, and talking about Ryan, we don't know what his brother's doing next year. He's finally got to win. That's something he can come out. If he retires this year, he can end this year with a win. We all know who's going to move up if Martin retires. John Hunter Nemechek. Who's going to who's going to replace John Hunter? Let's keep a Truex in NASCAR full time. Put Ryan.
Ironically enough, in the 20.
I mean, unless they want to keep it funny and be in the 19.
I mean, hey, no matter what, it works. It works.
That's definitely an option.
I think, and who else in the Xfinity Series? Corey Heim, I think, just needs another year.
I personally, really, in my honest opinion, Corey Heim is probably going to need maybe at least one more season, but still have some Xfinity starts sprinkled in there, kind of like with what he's got going on this year. I mean, I think this is a good plan for him. Yeah,
Joe Gibbs Racing, 100% see it. My thing on that is, who else in Xfinity, unless a Truck Series guy that's a Toyota? You don't have a lot of Toyota teams in the Truck Series. The Gray brothers aren't coming up. I don't see Ankrum coming up.
No,
Friesen's definitely not coming up.
Does Hattori have their second truck this year, or did they completely fold that?
Hattori have not mentioned anything about that, not that I know of. So
might try to do some part-time starts, but they're not doing it yet.
Yeah, because I haven't heard anything about their second truck. Like, I don't know if they folded that right up. I don't know if they kept it again. I've got no clue because I have not seen that 61 at all this year.
So I'm gonna be completely honest. Time's easily Toyota's next big prospect. Like, first is Lawson long time ago, but until Ganassi stole him from Toyota, and then there was Eric Jones, and then there was Bell.
Bell's still the Toyota prospect.
Oh yeah, but now he's in the Cup Series,
and he's still a Toyota prospect.
It's still a Toyota in the Cup Series.
But I think, as regards for the Truck Series and that Xfinity Series, I think Xfinity, Sammy Smith is the next big prospect. And then for Truex, I think Corey Heim's the next big prospect.
100%. I can't agree on that. I can definitely agree. That's why I'm saying, who else is going to be moving up to the Xfinity Series? And you got some great drivers who's done part-time. But in my honest opinion, Ryan Truex deserves that ride. If anyone who's been needing a ride full-time, that's going to replace John Hunter, it can't even just be Martin. Even if Denny Hamlin leaves to go race his own team.
Yeah, because...
Which actually, that would be fitting if they got rid of the 11 and put the 18 back. But
yeah, then I don't even... Was there any sort of news on Denny's contract status? Because I know it's contract year for him.
It is not just contract year, but contract year for the sponsor too.
Yeah, that's right.
So no, nothing news. Not that I've heard, at least, but there might be.
From what I heard, from what I heard, Denny said that he's confident on resigning, but that was back at the start of the year, so who knows?
Who knows? Maybe he might get re-signed to JGR this year, but for right now, I don't think it's possible, seeing as how Denny's performance has obviously declined a little bit, but not enough for it to be entirely noticeable, if that makes sense. So, we'll just have to wait and see if Monsieur Denny Hamlin is probably going to either re-sign with JGR, maybe have a different title sponsor for his car, or if FedEx might re-sign, or really in this case both, or if he goes to race for his own team. So definitely a couple things to keep our eyes on there.
Yeah.
But
does bring the point, Ryan Truex could take over if Nemechek moves up. And he deserves it.
That's true. So, the finishing results for the Xfinity Series, they go as follows. Of course, Ryan Truex, very deserving. First win of not only his career, but of the year, even though he's not full-time. But still, I think he'll definitely get some more starts, maybe this year, possibly. Josh Berry coming home in the second position. Justin Allgaier, third. Austin Hill, fourth. John Hunter Nemechek, fifth. Sammy Smith, sixth. Cole Custer 7th, Brandon Jones 8th, Sam Mayer 9th, Daniel Hemrick completing the top 10. And from 11th all the way down to 20th goes as follows: Sheldon Creed, Kaz Gralla, great run for him, Chandler Smith, Kyle Weatherman, Brett Moffitt, Ryan Sieg, Parker Retzloff, Jeb Burton, Jeremy Clements, and Derek Kraus. From 21st down to 30th, they go as follows in this order: Riley Herbst, Joe Graff Jr., Josh Williams, Brendan Poole, Ryan Ellis, Raja Caruth, Gray Galding, Stefan Parsons, Kyle Sieg, and Timmy Hill. That is your top 30. And then our final 8 finishers, they go as follows in this order: Garrett Smithley, Chad Chastain, Patrick Emmerling, CJ McLaughlin, Corey Heim, Anthony Alfredo, Jeffrey Earnhardt, and Parker Kligerman, who went out of the race on lap number 62. I almost said lap 1, but lap 62. But that was but 1 is where he started the day.
That kind of sucks because I had him as a dark horse, and I'm pretty sure he was going to do pretty well.
I mean, like, I wouldn't have put it past him. I really wouldn't have. All right, now it's time for the race that got postponed all the way up until today, May 1st, as of the day that we are recording this. Just to reiterate, the Cup Series events. So, I'm pretty sure I wasn't able to watch it, unfortunately. I did keep up with some of the things that were happened in the race, just not everything. So, whatever you guys know from that event, take it away.
I just saw the very end of it, so I'm out of luck on this one.
Oh, give me a second. This might be all on me. Wasting weapons coming in. Wasting weapons coming in. Give me a second. My internet's slow because I'm uploading a video as of this recording. Yeah, it was a pretty solid double race. I watched all 400 laps. Very solid double race. Stage 1, of course, had the comp caution because of the rain out on Sunday. And then we went back when Kyle Busch led the first 20 laps, but then for the 4th time this season, I believe most of anyone, he sped on pit road during the caution when he went down pit road. That kind of ruined his day. Had to restart in the back. And then because he started in the back, he got caught up in the first crash of the day. No, not first crash, the second crash of the day. The first crash was shortly after the restart. Noah Gragson spun off of turn 2 and started all the way down the racetrack towards turn 3. And then from that point on, didn't see Gragson at all. And apparently that's because he dropped out because of failing the damaged vehicle policy clock. So, tough day for Gragson. And then Kyle Busch, because he was in the back. Shortly after that, this third caution of the day, Truex got loose off turn 4, hit the outside wall, went down the racetrack, and then there was a little bit of a stack up between Ty Dillon and Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch tagged Ty Dillon, and Ty Dillon didn't get on the brakes and absolutely wheeled it into the inside wall a ton. And unfortunately, also Jim McLeod got a slight piece of it, but that ended Truex's day and Ty Dillon's day. And then Vincent, I am not happy about, happened also in stage 3. Literally all the cautions that happened in this race until the end was in stage 1. Ross Chastain did what Hamlin did at Richmond, punted the 15 car of Twin Pool this week into turn number 1, and know where to go for Carlos, and at the time he was the fastest car, and Lawson got taken out. I was not happy. I'm not happy with Ross. That's all I'm gonna say. I could go into detail, but meh. So that one Twin Pool stay, unfortunately, and Lawson, he ended up being like 30, 40 laps down. at one point. So yeah, stage 1 was over. Stage 2 went caution free, and then stage 3 almost went caution free as well until Joe Logano. I don't know if he blew a tire or if he blew an engine guidance, or I don't know, but he spun out, hit the outside wall, and then his car caught on fire. So that brought out a late race caution. Strategy happened. Top 3 of, I believe, MTJ, Bling, and Bell all took 2 tires, and Ross was 4th on the restart. Took 4 tires, Bling side by side for MTJ. Really battling hard, but really clean. So respect to Bling. And then Ross tried chasing the MTJ down. MTJ on 2 white side tires was going really, really fast. And I think they said that he did one of his fast laps of the race on the last 5, 6, 7 lap one at the end. And MTJ won. So MTJ, the 3rd time on a Monday at Dover, wins.
Not to mention his win since 2021, and where?
That was at Richmond. And I actually did the math on that one. That was a 54 race winless streak that he was on all the way up until this point. Nearly 2 years.
And I'm so glad that he won, because I was hoping that the Truex brothers would do a sweep. That would have been amazing. After Ryan Truex won, I was really rooting for Martin. I was really rooting for Martin, and I was happy I got to see the win at the very. I'm also happy to see that Logano had issues all day, and then I got to see him blow up at the end. I was happy to see that.
Yeah, you were.
I got to watch that. I got to watch that while I was at work. I was happy.
Wow, man! Like you
this
say that.
Have a on fire.
Man really said that just with pure professionalism in his voice. Oh my gosh! But
yeah,
hey, but what I was gonna say. Yeah. Nah, you're good. You're good. It's a good weekend though. It's a weird one, but it was a good one. But I was gonna say, we were wanting a brotherly sweep this past weekend at Talladega. We almost had it, but we got it this week with the Truexes. So, finish results goes as follows. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. the winner. Ross Chastain coming home in the 2nd position. Ryan Blaney 3rd. William Byron 4th. Denny Hamlin completing the top 5. Then Christopher Bell 6th. Tyler Reddick 7th. Brad Keselowski 8th. Chris Buescher 9th. And Josh Berry rounding out the top 10. And here's a little stat here for the RFK boys. This is the first time since 2013 that they have put 2 cars inside of the top 10. The last time this happened, Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle at Sonoma, Michigan, 2013.
Wow.
This year, it was Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher at Talladega. And then this weekend at Dover. Well, really, this week at Dover, to be more specific. But Josh Berry, once again, being the substitute driver, coming home inside of the top 10. I think we spoke about it a little bit before we ended up starting this recording session. I think Josh Berry easily is a pretty certifiable Cup driver.
100%. And they actually... Nathan, you're talking about you see him be in a year or two. I read somewhere that they're going to reveal his Cup Series plans at Charlotte. Before at the 600.
I saw something on Reddit, of all places. I did see that. We'll have to wait and see. I, of course, won't be able to see that because, for anyone that does not know, I will be gone for 2 weeks in the month of May because I'm going to Indy 500 and stuff. But it'll be interesting on what happens with Billy at Charlotte.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy to see that. I mean, of course, as for those that we didn't know, we completely glanced over this. The only reason why Josh Berry is back with a Hendrick Motorsports car, this time being with Alex Bowman's machine, is because Alex Bowman got into a pretty bad accident during a sprint car race breaking a vertebrae in his back, and he'll be gone for about a month and a half or so. So that's why Josh Berry is back. Now, from 11th all the way back to 20th position, in this order: Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs, Corey LaJoie, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric Jones, Ryan Preece, AJ Allmendinger, Kevin Harvick, and Harrison Burton, all completing the top 20. From 21st down to 30th, they go as follows: Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, J.J. Yaley, Eric Almirola, Todd Gilliland, Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon, J.J. Yaley, B.J. McLeod, Chase Briscoe, the top 30, and then the final 6 finishers goes as follows: Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Brendan Poole, Noah Gragson, Daniel Suarez, and Ty Dillon, who went out of the race on lap 34 after being involved in the crash with Daniel Suarez and I believe Noah Gragson as well. No, wait. 34, but still. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. It's kind of sucks for Alex Bowman. We'll probably talk more about that here in a minute, but it's still great to see Josh Berry back racing in the Cup Series and still pulling top 10s.
Easily, yeah.
He's still making top 10s. He's still showing he's pretty good in the Cup Series. And also give a little hats off to Ty Gibbs. I know you don't like this, Elijah, but he was running top 10 most of that time. And from what I heard, top 5, yeah. From what I heard, there was like 13 cars on the lead lap at one point, and Ty Gibbs was actually one of those. So it kind of impressed me.
Yeah, Toyota as a whole, like all 6 cars were bad fast there. Like 2311 and Joe Gibbs, so they found something at Dover. Ty Gibbs, unfortunately, he didn't get the finish that he probably deserved because apparently they were 7 laps short on fuel. I don't know how that's possible, but Ty Gibbs had to go into massive fuel save mode when a lap down, but still got, I think, 13th. But probably deserves the top 5, top 6 finish though if they didn't end up having that fuel issue.
But we all know Elijah wishes he was dead last every single race, but it's fun.
Yeah, and go out of the race on lap 1, turn 1. Yeah. Exactly, but I feel like I've grown to respect the Cup Ty Gibbs this year a little bit more than what I did last year. I say a little bit very loosely because I'm still going to say he's a very spoiled silver spoon brat. I mean, that one, I am very biased to that opinion. I don't care what anybody thinks. So I don't even care if the person that may like glance over the premiere hours before it drops gives it a dislike. I don't care if they do that. Like, you know.
All right. So before we move on to any stories, let's break down the points real quick. Obviously, Ryan Truex won the Xfinity race, but unfortunately, no new winners. So the playoffs are shaken up a little bit, but not enough as a new winner on the podium. So Austin Hill, still your top guy with 3 wins, and John Hunter Nemechek, your second guy with 2 wins. Then you got Chandler Smith, still above Sammy and Jeff Burton, and Sammy and Jeff flip-flopped. Sammy's now 4th, and then Burton's in 5th. Then here's where kind of craziness kind of happens. Josh Berry's now at the top, then Justin Allgaier second, Cole Custon, then Sheldon Creed. Riley Herbst dropped from 6th seed all the way down to 10th seed. Not too far off though, but he has a ways to go between him and Daniel Hemrick, but who's 11th, ironically.
Yeah.
And there's that. Also, I didn't mention the points. Josh Berry 76, Allgaier 70, Custer 60, Creed 56, and then Riley Herbst 54. And then there's a huge, ironic, I'd say 28-point jump to 26 with Daniel Hemrick, and then another good jump with now in the 12th seed, Sam Mayer. But who's missing? who was the original? Well, we got in the cutoff area. Brandon Jones, 9 points out, ironically, and Parker Klingerman is now is below the cutoff. Who was above the cutoff since being at Daytona. Finally is below the cutoff, which kind of sucks. But it was bound to happen because we had some good drivers, but I can see him bringing himself back up.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Then we got a jump between Klingerman to Ryan Priest, because Ryan Sieg, I'm sorry, not Priest, I'm sorry. Sieg is down by 37, and then Brett Moffitt is down by 51. That is the Xfinity Series. Now to the Cup Series. Martin Truex Jr. moves his way up from, I think, being the 12th seed where he was. And now he's up to the 5th seed underneath Christopher Bell in the single winners.
Yeah.
But now we got Kyle Busch is top of the board with 2 wins. Kyle Larson and then William Byron, all 2 wins. In that order. Then Bell, Truex, Reddick, Logano, and Ricky Stenhouse are all the winners. Now, Ross Chastain's the leader of not the points guys, and he is now up 139. Up 139 points. That's pretty good for Ross, and I think he's the points leader, too.
He is easily the points leader right now.
By 3 points, if I'm not mistaken, over Christopher Bell.
Let's take a look. Yes.
Well,
correct. 3 points.
And then goes Kevin Harvick up 101, Blaney 95, Hamlin 86, Keselowski 72, Buescher 46, and Bowman dropped. And he's still going to continue the drop. Now he's 39 above. He's going to be below the cutoff by the time the end of the next race. So it'll be interesting to watch. The Briscoe rounding it out in 16th seed plus 19. The cutoff. Here's where a bunch of stuff got shaken. Suarez is down by 19. Ty Gibbs moved from 4th seed to 2nd seed of the cutoffs. Now he's down by 22. Austin Cindric down by 26. And Michael McDowell is now down by 33. And that is the points this week.
All right. So, as far as breaking stories are concerned, I haven't seen any personally. I've not really seen a whole lot. Latest. Let's go to our latest. Like, what do we have for this week that we might have either glanced over or just entirely missed? I have not seen anything, but there has been a lot of discussion over, well, we've had this discussion before over the course of the past year with the safety of the next-gen car. But with the impact that Kyle Larson took to the passenger side door from Ryan Preece at Talladega, and visually seeing the roll cage within the car get bent up so far, the safety of this car, once again, the topic of safety with the next-gen car has been brought up yet again, and I think it has become more evident than ever that this car might be maybe just a tad bit too dangerous. It could be too stiff. Maybe the pros and cons of the car being too stiff is the pros are you could just hit the wall, maybe like pretty mildly to moderately, and still keep going. Unlike with what you could do with the Gen 6 car, where if you were to hit the wall, you're essentially done. The cons to the car of the being too stiff, obviously, is with impacts, kind of like with what Kyle Larson took, even rear end impacts like with what Kurt Busch and even Alex Bowman took last year. So, with this, what are your guys' opinions on the safety of the next gen cars? Do you guys think that the opinions are still the same? Do you think the car is a little bit safer than what they were last year? What do you guys think?
I think they are safer, but they need to be worked on a bit more. That's basically it on my part.
Like, for me, I will say, I think they changed the rear end for rear end hits, and I think that has worked because, like, for example, Ty Dillon's crash today at Dover. If they didn't change anything for the rear end, I don't think the rear end would have crushed in like it did. Like, I don't think it would have stayed stiff, and it would have been almost like no damage. But then Ty Dillon probably would not be okay. But the rear end crushed in like it should have. And I think, as far as I know, Ty Dillon is okay. But as far as last weekend at Talladega, with that massive T-bone hit with Wilson and Priest, to be fair, I don't think we've really seen that in a while. With just a T-bone hit like that. And I don't think it wouldn't have mattered if it was the Genesis or the next gen. I still don't think it would have been good, no matter what car it was. But honestly, I think the rear end is fine. But now with what happened with Wilson's crash at Dega, maybe they have to work on the side impact, because if that was not on the passenger side door, and if that was the driver's side door, I would be one scary Carlos fan, or I would be one scared Carlos fan. So, maybe I'm being a little bit biased because it's my driver, but overall, I think the sides, they need to do something now. The rear end, I, I think it's better, but now they might have to do something with the side of the next gen.
Yeah, I personally think that what they need to do is just make sure that the roll cage is attached to the floorboard of the cars. Because don't get me wrong, like the roll cage is definitely, obviously, the most vital part of the stock car. Obviously, because because we all know what the roll cage is supposed to do. It's supposed to act like a cocoon around the driver, especially just like the carbon fiber seats and other types of seats and harnesses that the drivers use now, whether it be in NASCAR or open wheel racing like Formula One or IndyCar, V8 supercars, IMSA. The list goes on. What I think that NASCAR really needs to do is like find that threshold where the cars, make sure they still maintain that stiffness, but kind of take away a little bit of stiffness. That way the sides do like maybe do give a little bit more, but not to the point where they give so much to where like they just completely cave in like the side, like the passenger or the driver's side of the cars. If that makes sense, because like the last thing we need to see is another career get ended. So, like that's just me. I'm not a professional. I'm not like an overall like scientist or crash test guy or whatever. But they really need to figure out some sort of way to come up with a compromise with the stiffness of the cars. I feel like they've done a pretty good job with the rear end, seeing as from the data they've gotten from testing, and also from what we've been able to see with Ty Dillon's rear end impact at Dover. So I'm really hoping that of course they figure something out, like at least come up with some sort of compromisable threshold, like we're straight down the middle. Like you want to make sure the car is tough, but not tough enough to where it could just take all the damage in the world and will live forever. So that's just me.
I'd say one more. I don't know if you have any more piece of news or anything you're adding on to it, but one thing I got here, I don't even know how to say her last name. Tony Bringending, I don't know how to say her last name. I'm butchering that name. I'm sorry. Will be making her Truck Series debut this weekend at Kansas, driving number 1 for Tricon.
And the primary sponsor, you ask? Victoria's Secret. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret is the most unusual sponsor to come around in NASCAR since Kim Kardashian sponsored a Cup car back in 2010. You heard that correctly. Kim Kardashian sponsored a Cup car in 2010. I completely forgot who drove the car though.
Nathan, I think your nickname is Nathan, I think your nickname's Victoria. What's your secret, man?
No.
Just no.
No. But in all seriousness, I guess good for Tony. I guess I don't really pay attention to Alka, so I don't know how good she is. But
she's kind of. I'd say. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Keep going. You were talking first.
But I think with how Twycon has been doing, especially with that one color being the All-Star color, or truck, I should say. Who knows? Maybe it might not be too bad of a one. Have to see.
I mean, I'm not sure if she's the best example, but think about this for a minute. Even though it was known as DGR at that point, Haley Deegan ran her first race at Kansas
in the same team
in 17, same team, and she actually almost got her top 15. So pretty good. I'd say pretty good in my book on that one. So I can't wait to see how she does.
Excuse me. Okay, so Tony Breedinger, yes, currently races full-time in ARCA for Vetturini Motorsports. This year, she currently sits 9th in the point standings with 75 points in the bank right now. She currently stands this year with no wins, no top 5s, no top 10s, no poles, and completed 302 laps. If we go back to last year, with her results last year, she finished 6th in the ARCA standings with no wins, no top 5s, but 6 top 10s, no poles, and completed 2,321 laps and has an average finish of 12.8. So, Tony is solid. Probably right up there with Haley, but I wouldn't say like to the same caliber as what Haley Deegan was in the K&N series and ARCA back in 2020, if that makes sense. I don't think Tony will do super duper spectacular in her truck debut. Of course, she's going to have her struggles, as does anybody, especially when they go up to a National Touring Series for the first time. So, you know, one way to find out for Tony. I hope she does pretty well. I hope she does solid, but right now it's kind of a big old question mark at this point. Okay, so I believe that is all the stories that we've gotten. So, speaking of Kansas, let's go ahead and preview it. First trip to Kansas this year. Xfinity is off. The Truck Series is back, as we had alluded to before. Gentlemen, I don't know what happened to my camera, but apparently it lagged a little bit. But gentlemen, what are we going to expect this weekend?
I don't know about the Truck Series because but I know at least for Cup Series side, we may expect another Toyota sweep again. I don't know if it's going to be the same number, but I think Toyotas are going to do good, at least in the Cup Series side. I know for Truck Series, we may have to keep an eye on Danny Smith because he's on that same role as last time. And also to mention, I mentioned Haley Deegan a little bit ago, and she's pretty good on Deegan's been pretty good at Kansas. We've all been keeping an eye on her on that. And Thor Sport's pretty good. So maybe we'll see some good out of that race.
Yeah, Kansas is an interesting mile and a half. It's definitely wild. We've seen some crazy crashes at Kansas, and last year's Kansas race I think for Cup was pretty solid, and of course Kansas with it being progressively banked most of the time the top is OP, but looking forward to it. Interested to see of how Kansas goes for Cup. For Truex, who knows? It's basically like a mini super speedway for Truex with that package that they have. So
Yeah, right,
we'll see of how that goes. But looking forward to it. Mile and a half, Kansas.
No, yeah, absolutely. That is gonna be a fun one to watch. I feel like I have to sneeze, but I really don't. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm majorly congested, so I think I have a little bit of a cold. But it's all right. I'm still here. We're still going. But here we go with our predictions for Truex and Cup. Driver to win, pretty self-explanatory. Driver to stay away from is the guy that hasn't been doing well the last couple of weeks, or we're just coming up to a track where they suck at. The dark horse is the exact opposite, but oh boy, we better make sure that we don't have a tornado and end up in the lollipop gale because it's Kansas. Let's go racing. Nathan, you are up first.
Oh boy, what do we got this week, boys? What am I gonna do that's gonna tick you guys off? Let's see here. My dog.
Make actual good choices. No, I'm kidding.
It's not super speedway. I will pick reasonable ones.
He's gonna choose. Oh, is he Nick Leitz as the driver to win?
Yeah, someone I don't even know. Yeah. No. Totally Brent Post no win. And 3-2-3. No. My driver to stay away from. But what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm gonna say Daniel Dye. He's had some decent speed throughout the year so far, but every time he has speed, he has bad luck. So I think that might happen to him again, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say, because I am probably one of the few Daniel Dye fans that he has at this point, but
especially after
I think once again,
sorry.
I think once again, he will have speed, but then bad luck will strike.
Especially after he punched a kid in the balls.
Yeah.
And that kid's how I became a Daniel Dye fan.
No, I liked him before that. But let's see. She's gonna like driver to stay with him. My dark horse. I'm gonna go with Haley Deegan.
Alright, respectable.
Good deal.
Really good at Kansas. Plus, I think she might be getting on a little bit of a roll. Let me check on racing reference here. Yes, I said it funny. I wanted to. Don't mind me.
I was gonna do it too. Reference.
Let me see here.
On racing reference.
Reference.
Wasn't it? Let's see. The last time out for Truex was at Martinsville. Of course, that is nothing like Texas, but Haley Deegan. Oh, where's this show? Where's Haley Deegan? Okay, never mind. Hold up. There's one race where she got a good finish. Oh yeah. Was still dirt. That's what's still dirt. She's really good at dirt. I'm not too surprised. But if we go back to Texas, the last mile and a half, she did finish in 6th place after starting 25th. So the last mile and a half, she did a sixth place finish, and she just like Kansas in full split has been strong this season. So I think might have to watch out for Deegan this weekend. And then my driver to win. I am not gonna say Kyle Busch. I didn't know that he was in the field, but he is. I'm not
Wait, he's
saying
in the
Kyle
field?
Busch.
Surprise!
Yes. Surprise. I'm not gonna say Kyle Busch. I'm not gonna say KFB. I'm gonna say the guy that should have won Texas, but didn't. I'm gonna say Nick Sanchez is gonna get his first good spot win.
Ooh, okay.
Good deal.
And then the Cup side, Kansas Speedway. Let's see, my driver to stay away from for this one. I'm gonna say it will be. I'm gonna say. It's so hard to predict because Cup is so all over the place this year. But I'm gonna, as much as it pains me, I have.
None.
Okay. I'm gonna say Noah Gregson's terrible rookie season continues. He just not had good luck. My dark horse, I'm gonna go with. You know, I'm gonna go a little bit bold here. I'm gonna go a little bit bold. My dark horse, I think it's gonna be Black Sowski.
Alright.
RFK, they got both cars inside the top 10 2 weeks in a row. So I think RFK finally is gaining some momentum. Plus, Brad is in that beautiful Kings of Wine Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 painting that I absolutely love.
That is a nice looking car.
So, I think Brad's gonna keep up the momentum. And also, a little bit of a side note, I think both RFK cars will get top 10s again for the first week in a row. A little bit of a bold pick. I think both RFK will get top 10s again. But as far as my winner, I'm gonna go with the guy in the car that won this race last year with a new driver. I'm gonna go with Tyler Reddick to get dub number 2 on the season at Kansas.
Not a bad choice.
Alright.
Alrighty. Wyatt, you are up next.
I feel like me and Nathan are synchronized. Usually to me and Elijah, but now it's just me and Nathan. My dark horse, I can't disagree. Hailie Deegan. Hailie Deegan, I feel like she's getting better, and she's at a race where her first start she got almost top 15. She's in a good team that's good at this track. Like I mentioned, I don't see why. Hailie Deegan, my dark horse. My driver to stay away from, though, I think I'm going to go. He has not been on a good streak as of late. I'm going to go Stuart Friesen. I don't think he's been doing the best here lately. I don't really see him doing any good this time. I'm gonna go with him. Nathan, you picked Nick Sanchez to win, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna go with a person who is starting to double his season like he did last year. His third win, I believe, came at Kansas. He won his first race, same track. First one came same track. Second win, same track. Third one's going to come with the same track again. I cannot deny this. I'm going with Zane Smith. He's my driver to win. Now for the Cup Series side. My dark horse. I'm actually gonna be nice. My dark horse is Bubba Wallace.
Oh.
Bubba Wallace is actually both him and that whole team's actually pretty good at Kansas. They swept last year. So, Bubba Wallace won
the drivers on the 45. Swept Kansas.
Yeah, different driver in the 45, but still, he is my pick, my dark horse pick, Bubba Wallace. My driver to stay away from actually kind of brings me back a few years ago when he was still racing with JTT Dory and had some interesting happenings. Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
Ryan Preece is my driver to stay away from. And now my winner, I agree. I agree with Nathan. It's going to be same song and dance, different driver, but the same car number. Tyler Reddick in the 45 for 2311. Going to go 3 in a row with 3 different drivers with the same number.
And
I'm going with Tyler Reddick.
And that's the bottom line because he said so. Oh, whoops. But all right. Here we go. It is my turn.
Run away.
So, for my driver to win, I think I am going to have to double down on Zane Smith here. He is probably one of the more clearer favorites amongst the regulars. So, easily, Zane Smith, driver to win. The guy to stay away from, I honestly am not 100% sure, but I think I'm also going to have to agree with Daniel Dye here. I've not seen a lot of Daniel Dye at all this year. He did fantastic in ARCA, especially after he punched a kid in the balls. But this year he has not been doing so hot. Not off to a hot start at all for Daniel Dye. He's my guy to stay away from. My dark horse, yes, can't agree. Haley Deegan, 1,000,000%. She has been, picking up good finishes left and right. Some better than others. But I think Haley Deegan can definitely, cook something up, especially at a racetrack that she debuted at for Truex, ironically enough. Now, for the Cup side, my driver to win, I'm taking a little bit of a different path for this one. I personally do believe that my driver to win, man, this is now that I'm on a little bit of a different way, going a little bit of a different direction, it is a little bit tougher. But I think my driver to win is going to be William Byron.
Okay.
Well, let's face it, first mile and a half, of course, Vegas, he wound up winning that one en route to him going back-to-back. So, I mean, hey, as far as mile and a half is concerned, William Byron is your guy to watch out for. Driver to stay away from, though, I think I'm going to have to stay, possibly, Ryan Preece. He just really hasn't, other than the Clash, he just really hasn't come alive this year. I mean, well, to add on, other than the Clash, he pretty much dominated Stage 1 at Martinsville, but that's about it. How much further can you really go with Ryan Preece? But my dark horse is this past race's winner, Martin Truex. Kansas has treated Truex really, really well, especially when he was with Furniture Row at the time. I think for this year, of course, he'll probably wound up getting a good finish. Who knows? Maybe he might wound up winning. Who knows? There's a lot to really process there. But alrighty, we have gone through all the news and notes. We've recapped the weekend/week at Dover. Any final thoughts before we get Kansas racing underway?
Nathan, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Oh wait, we might be now.
We're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Oh my God!
So Nathan, who's Dorothy? Who's Toto? Because we know he's the wizard, or he's the Caroline. I don't know yet.
Yeah, Wyatt's the Witch of the West.
No, I have someone else in mind.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Kansas. Hopefully we don't see any big clashes at Kansas like it is known for, but who knows? Just wait and see.
Alrighty. So, with that being said, I think that definitely is going to put a cap on our 38th edition of GTN. I want to thank you guys a lot for watching and listening. If you guys are watching this on YouTube and you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. And if you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. If you're listening to this on Spotify, be sure to hit that green follow button so you don't miss a single Spotify audio replay of each GTN episode. And that pretty much is going to do it for us. On behalf of Wyatt and Nathan, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
See ya.